welcome back to the Playhouse. I hope you enjoyed the conversation thus far. I'm telling you, if you're just catching us here, do yourself a favor. You're not doing yourself justice if you're not starting this from the very beginning. Don't just read the title that's written on the video and capture the video from here. Go catch this thing from the beginning. The history is important. Context is important. Pius, let's continue this story.
Yeah.
So where we've left off, just let's see if I'm right. You've made the ultimate decision, or you've made a decision in high school that, you know what, this internal conflict that I'm having between doing this club thing, or this internal conflict that I'm having in whatever it may have been, you've decided no more.
No more.
Your pals have told you we're giving you 2 weeks. Or see you this Saturday.
See you next Saturday.
Sunday.
See you on Sunday.
Jam session.
Jam session.
Endelea.
So, never showed up for any other jam session. It was over. And it was, let's give him another week. He will come back. Let's give him another week. It just remained the same. So now I turned my energies.
Did you have to change the group of people that you're hanging out with?
Now listen. So I started a study group, starting with myself. I said, now, after school, I remain in class.
What?
After school, I remain in class. You know,
uniform?
You know, let me, I forgot to mention something.
Okay.
We grew up in Gara in Asian type of houses. Asian type of houses are communal houses.
Yes.
It's this house, next house, next house, next house, next house. And that house is not the house, a self-contained house. The toilet is outside, the bathroom is outside. It's a communal, bathroom is a communal toilet. So, proper Asian style. And that meant space was very limited. Very, very limited. And where the table that my mom used to cut skuma wiki on,
all those things.
yes, that was the same table I used to read on. So as she's cutting onions and skuma wikis, I'm also reading from the same table. So
you wanted your own table.
We were literally living in a 2-roomed house.
Whoa.
One is bedroom, the other one is living room.
Oh, hold on.
Yes.
Bedroom with your siblings?
Yes. So
someone takes the couch, something like that?
Not even, yeah. Literally, it was a 2-roomed house. So we would, and that one room is serving as a bedroom, and also is where we cook. But also is where the only table in the house that you can read on is. So I would sit on my bed and the table is here. And my mom on the other side is cutting vegetables.
Yo.
Hey.
And you know when you said you guys were the well-off guys in the community.
In the community.
Yes.
not that style.
Yes, I
not that style. But I'm saying this also is because of where we had chosen to. It was an Indian setup. Indians, you have your mother, your brother,
the new wife.
Yes. So, and they live in 1 or 2 rooms each.
Yes.
So then when they're cooking, they would come sit on the doorstep, and everybody is preparing their meals outside.
Yes.
But now Africans adapting this, it became something a little bit different, because we are not exactly one.
Yes, you're not one family.
One family.
Yes.
You're not exactly one family. So reading space was a big issue. A big issue. So say now, after school time, take a break of 30 minutes, go back to class. Slowly, some of the guys I used to go for jam session with, they started joining me.
Oh.
Now, I had, and others now, who are not involved in that group. So we formed quite a sizable study group.
What? This is impressive.
So we would read from 5 p.m. to about 9 or 10 p.m.
What?
And then walk home. And it was a very interesting season for me, because also, remember, my dad doesn't have a job. We couldn't afford school fees. So anytime kids were being sent home because of school fees default, I was top player. I was at the top. In fact, common knowledge. Everybody knew Pius. Let's start with Pius. Pius. I would stay a whole year without paying school fees, even a coin. And it was not my biggest problem, because going home to ask for school fees, it was too down the priority list. You know, if you're struggling with putting food on the table, surely school fees is not one of them. So when I'm told to go home, I would not go home. I would go to Kenya. I would walk to Kenya National Library.
What?
Yeah. So trek, Grogon, up Community Hill, Kenya National Library. That was my refuge. So I'd go there
and read
and get lost there. 6, when they close, I walk. Uhuru Park, cut through, Mamangina, until I get home. There was nothing like bus fare. It never even occurred to me that I could get into a bus. So it was a very interesting season.
Did that season dent you? What I mean is, there's some people who getting kicked out of school becomes shameful and affects their self-esteem. Other people can use it as motivation of, I'm never going to let this happen to my future kids or something.
I never felt it that way. I never felt ashamed. I just felt I was unstoppable. Nothing could stop me. From
what, attaining this?
From attaining whatever I had set my mind to.
And that time is riches.
I needed to pass exams.
Okay. That's the first goal.
Yeah, those were now little steps, So
I get it. So even so even the motivation to study for you, passing was going to help you attain this goal that you set.
For me, it was
that internal goal that you set.
For me, going to university was a do or die.
Oh,
if I didn't go to university, it meant that I would be pushing Mgogoteni cat or something. That was the only alternative. There was nothing else on offer for me beyond that point. I had to position myself to be absorbed somewhere by force. So
that is huge.
So going to university was key. So for me, when we were being chased from school, I would not even go home. I just walk straight to Kenya National Library. I knew everybody in Kenya National Library. I knew which book was where. And I would spend my day there, no lunch, no nothing. The whole day. And I would go back home, I would say nothing. I would not complain to my parents. I would not add stress to them. No.
But the awareness that you already been faced with life or death options, I mean, what you've talked about is huge. You've talked about if you didn't make it, first of all, you don't have the money for even high school, let alone university. So for you, not getting the grades to get into university, first, forget where the money will come from. The grades, first and foremost, was a do or die.
Yeah. And now that was really hard. The other bit is that if you relied on the notes that you were getting in class, I had proven I was never going to go to university. So literally, I researched textbooks, I wrote my own notes, and then I studied. I wrote my own notes.
You taught yourself?
I taught myself.
What?
I'd look for books from everywhere. I would write my own notes, not the teacher's notes, my own notes.
What I'm hearing you say is that you already knew that the quality of education within the school that you are was not going to get you into university the way you wanted.
Look here, every year we had about 240 people leaving school. We barely did 5 people who went to university.
Yeah.
So for you to be in that top 5, you needed to do something that is not done in school. And that's something you needed to teach yourself.
And find out what it is.
So later on, I had so many friends who went to other national schools. I realized I worked 5 times harder.
Okay.
I worked 5 times harder. That one, in fact, many of them, I am the one who was showing them how to research in university.
You had started doing what you're supposed to be doing in university.
Yeah. So, and that has translated even today, even in the corporate world, people tell you, buddy, you're a teacher. You can teach. And it's because I had to learn how to teach myself.
The discipline was instilled unknowingly.
Yes.
In this era.
In that era. So I had such odds against me. Huge odds. And I was very much aware of them. So I was doing better than the people who are remaining in class. And one moment I will never ever forget in my life was when we now needed to do our mock, to sit for our mock exams, so we would get our index number. That moment, or rather that time, it was towards the end of the year. I had not paid even 1 single cent of tuition. And the headmaster was very clear. If you've not paid even 200 bob, you should not come to school and you will not sit for exams. And that meant if you don't have an index number,
you're not sitting for it.
You're done. So I went home, I told my mom, by the way, we have a situation. This thing that I've worked hard for, it's about to slip away. I woke up the following morning, my mom told me, let's kneel down. So we knelt. Her on the other side of the coffee table, me on the side of the coffee table. And her hands were up and she was praying. Hey, man, fervent prayers. Life and death prayers. And me, I was there. I was believing every word. Even if I was a religious person, that day I was a spiritual person. I believed every word. And then she told me, now go to school.
What?
Now go to school. I remember taking my bag, leaving through the door, and I looked back and I could see from the window my mom. I could see her image through the window, and her hand was still up like this. It was following me. I was getting like this until I disappeared around the corner. I went to school. Big hall. Chairs nicely arranged. Looked for my seat. I sat down. They came, the teachers came, distributed the exam papers. And then they said, start. And then I started. They're like, man, I can't believe I'm writing this exam. I've not paid even 1 cent. It's public knowledge. 30 minutes into the exam, our deputy headmaster walks in, in a rush, followed by a team of prefects.
Oh no.
And he stood at the front and said, "Everyone, stop writing now. If I call out your name,
get out.
Come with your paper, put it here, pick your bag, and go home." My heart was pounding. Boof, boof, boof. I was frozen. He had 2 foolscaps. He started calling names. Otieno, who? Next foolscap. He turned. He called the last one. My name was missing.
Yeah.
Like, guys left. It was like an exodus. Guys left. Like, I'm here. I'm still inside. He said, now you guys continue writing. Now, outside, I'm hearing guys saying, "You guys, this is unfair. Me, I have a balance of 200 bob. Pius is inside there and he's writing the exam."
No way.
Outside, I can hear them. I sat for that exam 2 weeks, I finished. My name went missing. That's the first time. I was a Christian before, but the first time I knew God is real. God is real. And he answered prayer. He answers prayers because he answered my prayer.
There's no one who paid net. That's a miracle.
It was a miracle.
That's a miracle.
It was a miracle. And then I did so well. And the teachers who are aware that this guy has not paid school fees, they just started talking amongst each other, like, this is one of our best hopes for this school. What can we do for him? So they started trying to organize my mom, everything. You know what? I was granted bursary.
No way.
For the rest of until Form 4.
You're joking.
I finished Form 4 on bursary.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, this Torona has taken a tangent. I didn't see it going this way. Man, so what, like you are in the top 10 or
now I was top 10.
Yeah, there's no way that if you are number 50
I mean, out of 240 students, for the mock exam I was number 14, which was good for them.
Yes. And this was in Form 2.
Now I'm in Form 3.
Yes, okay, Form 3.
I was entering Form 3.
Yes.
So that was like a miracle.
Man,
the pressure for school fees disappeared. That's why today I support so many people. School fees. For me, there are 2 things.
I was going to ask you that, but I didn't want to force it out of you, because I know a lot of people who support people, sometimes they keep it under wraps.
I mean, for me and my wife, my late wife, there are 2 things that we've always been available. If you don't have food to eat, we will do everything to make sure you have food to eat. Number 2, school fees. We've adopted many kids, some living with us, others outside, and just help them to go through this thing. And some have finished university, So for me, that the seed, even today, is still in me. It's still in me that someone paid for my school fees, whom I will never know. Yeah, whom I will never know.
And that changed your complete life, set you on this path.
So, all these hardships were pointing to only one thing: the bitterness of poverty. Which later on you'll see what I do is basically I'm an evangelist against poverty. My mission is to make sure as many families as possible will never have to experience that.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's my purpose. And that's why God allowed me to go through that experience. There's so many things you can try and explain, you know. I had both of my parents and all those things, but God is so high that He will choose you and He will make sure you go through certain things so that you will understand the pain of something, a mission field that He's sending you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even just from what you've just shared, I can imagine how many other Piuses are there because Pius is there. What I mean is, you've just talked about how you help people go through school. And you also talked about for your own self, how you needed to pass this school or be pushing kokotenis. That was the difference. You get? And how something small as 200 shillings could have got you kicked out of the room.
Oh, yes.
You're the people who are outside saying, hey, Mia, I only have a balance of 200 shillings. You know? Wow. Okay, this story is it's I love it. Let me just say, I honestly love it because I truly believe, even in my interactions with you, there's reason behind your teaching. When we enter money markets, the conversation on money market, when we enter the conversation of Centum, Nabo, even when we talk about Chris Kirubi, because we've been with you in the same room as him, all of these things, I'm seeing the foundation that was laid. And you've nailed it. Purpose. Your purpose is to empower families and eradicate poverty. Okay, so how do you do in high school? Or is there another? I don't even think a story can be that one. That was the purpose of high school for you.
So high school, again, I remember we were working against huge odds. Not being many classes missed, having to read, research, write my own notes. So I couldn't concentrate on every subject. So I narrowed down sciences, mathematics.
Mathematics.
Mathematics. My dad has been such a big influence in my life. So my dad is very science oriented, very mathematics oriented. As in, my dad would read, what do you call it? There was this big physics book, Abbott. It was called Abbott. He would read the whole thing, and he's not in school, just to keep me company. He was enjoying, you know. And that was a privilege.
That was a privilege. Yeah.
So I scored A's, sciences, mathematics. Swahili, I really did badly. I did badly. So, but I had enough to go to university. So we had about 5 people who made it to university, and I was one of them.
And by university, you mean the University of Nairobi?
University of Nairobi, the University of Nairobi. So I entered the University of Nairobi.
What year is this now?
This is now, I finished 95, then we had to stay home for 2 years, then I joined university in 1997.